out there in the land of TV. We are here today, important day, to discuss an important topic. My name is Gene, and I'm an expert in sleep deprivation techniques for getting these alternative highs, which we are going to focus on today's episode. Now, to my left, I have here Hand Stem. And Mr. Stem, what is your field? Oh, you're a narcologist.
Of the 21st century.
Okay, we'll get into that later. On my far right, your far left out there, I have Emule, is that your name? How do you pronounce that?
Just call me Eel, man.
Eel? And what is your area of expertise?
Maybe my title didn't get on there.
Well,
I'm actually a gastroenterologist, and I'm also a Muslim. I'm currently,
it's Ramadan.
yeah, I'm currently celebrating Ramadan.
And
I might have to pray during the show toward Mecca.
All right, well.
But the thing is that I found that,
all right, let me just introduce our guest, and we can get more into, what your beliefs are and anything like that. Okay, on my near right, your near left, maybe probably in the center. Right now, maybe right in your screen, the center of the screen. Exactly, not even the left or right, maybe a little bit to the right. I have nickname again. Now you are the official
historian of the Three Geniuses.
Historian.
Yes, I've studied them greatly for the past centuries.
Well, millennia, in fact. And I'm waiting for the next one because it's going to suck. Well, why not? Yes.
Now, what is
Of course.
Dude, what? No, let's get started. What is, as a historian, what is your favorite episode of Three Geniuses?
That would have to be the last one we did was.
oh, come on, this is off topic.
Okay.
We've got to get back to the
We have these guests.
Well, this is why I want to bring our topic today is alternative highs. And we do have some viewers who actually have called in and wrote to us and done all kinds of stuff to us, and they say that they have actually gotten an alternative high by watching our program. Wow. Have you experienced that as a historian?
Yes, I've experienced a lot of viewers who get high and they overdose from the Three Geniuses, and it's terrible because we have to bring them to the hospital emergency room. And what do we say? We say Three Geniuses, and they don't understand. The doctors, the hospitals, they have problems with this. So we've got to get insurance. We've got to get the insurance straightened out for Y2K, and it's a problem with many people. But anyway, let's talk about alternative.
All right.
No, okay.
Eastern region.
No, Hand Stem.
Yes.
The hand here. You are a narcologist. Now, what is a narcologist?
A narcologist is a person who studies the many and various ways of getting high. And as a narcologist of the 21st century, my formal title, I'm part of the New Age movement, and that I'm trying to elevate levels of consciousness so people can realize new states of being high, which normally are recognized as mundane states of consciousness.
The thing is, won't every new way of getting high become illegal just as soon as it's invented?
There are various conspiracy theories, but I don't buy into any of them.
Now, I'm a sleep deprivation expert myself, and I haven't slept probably in the last week or so.
Do you find that provides you with a hypomanic state, a state of hypomania or hypothermia?
Well,
Where you feel warm.
it puts me in a walking dream-like state, actually, because you need REM sleep.
What's your name
dreaming
again?
and yes, dreaming.
Gene.
Oh, yeah, Gene. All right, Gene.
Gene.
Gene, we
Yes.
should compare notes because I actually am a wake deprivation expert.
You've been asleep for the past week.
And yeah, I tend to try to stay asleep continuously, and you're catching me in a rare moment.
You're
of,
awake right now, though.
Lucidity. Yes.
The
I'm
question
awake
is,
right
are
now,
you
but
awake?
The thing is that I've
Are you
found
high?
Not letting yourself wake up is an extremely good high. When you want to wake up, just do not wake up. Do not force yourself to sleep.
I'd like to take this moment and interject that we don't advocate the use of any illegal substances. In fact, that's a concept we're trying to subvert with this very show.
Nor even do we advocate. We advocate it, but we don't suggest that you must do this. Any of our techniques that we suggest on this show. So, you try it at your own risk.
Do not, yes.
I mean, that's
Please
just one of
consult
my
your
fields.
physician.
The other is I don't know if you've been to mosques during Ramadan, but all the praying tends to alleviate the gas. And many have heard of methamphetamine use, which of course we do not advocate. But just pure methane, I believe in.
Mr.
Being a gastroenterologist.
No, wait, what is this right here? This is equal?
This is equal, which many people believe to be a sugar supplement or a sugar alternative, when in fact it's a very powerful drug and can be carcinogenic unless taken through the nose.
It contains phenylalanine.
All right, now, can we see this? Can we get a close-up of this? Hold on. Can you zoom in here?
Phenylalanine.
Now, one bag is an appropriate line.
Okay, now this is...
Whereas for an actual illegal substance, be
that's
it
a gram.
cocaine,
That's a gram.
CP, whatever it might be, this would be an excessive line, but for equal, it's safe.
Let me see, I haven't
For all
heard this.
this.
Equal.
Equal.
Interesting.
That is a full. Oh, jeez. That's a full gram.
Oh,
I
that
can't
wasn't a
believe that.
close-up, I don't think. But we might have to get it again. Get another.
You zoom in on this guy. This one.
It's okay.
Whoa. How does that feel? Could you describe your sensation?
Hold on, now what is this? Can we get a wide shot? I mean, back up a little bit. He's grabbing his groin.
The reaction seems to be severe.
I thought I was about to come down.
Now
And
what?
that's just the point. A high was always within my grasp.
Wow. Now, have you tried sweet
That's such a commonplace thing. You can find this in restaurants.
Any restaurant. Any restaurant.
That's incredible. Can you find it at a place like Starbucks? Do you think? Yeah.
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 Have you ever tried sweet and low?
Who would have thought?
Yes, I have. I find it to be inferior.
In what way?
It's less hallucinogenic, but it's more of a rush.
All right, let me try this.
We don't advocate sweet and low.
I would recommend Sweet and Low for somebody like you who's slightly, or in your case, extremely narcoleptic.
They should call this stuff sweet and high, man.
Sweet and high.
This stuff is good.
Oh shit. Okay.
I've actually tried sweet and low.
Oh my god. Ah! All right, now try the sweet and low.
Have you taken sweet and low rectal?
We don't advocate any products because we can't do that on public access. So with equal time. Let's try some. I want to try some equal in my left nostril. And see, I'll do the taste
I'm not
test.
sure if those two are good mixed.
Oh my god! Oh, dude!
Now,
Oh man! I think equal is far superior, man.
to be honest, I have to warn our audience that excessive use
Oh, who is
of
that?
equal
Hello.
or
Hey.
sweet and low
Hey, what's
can
going on?
result in deterioration of the nasal septum.
Oh,
If you find this happening,
well, we're
there is an
taping.
alternative route of taking both of these substances.
Yeah.
what if
Still
you mix?
using a snorting technique, and I'd like to
Getting a call
demonstrate that. It's called
from
Rainer
the
valve.
All right.
the Hausier Institution.
Now what you do-
This is what
You take
I've
this-
had experience with this one.
Some people are able to actually suck air in their asses to produce a fart at will. Anyone who
Well,
can do
it
this
seems to
can
be,
snort
well,
sweet
Easier
in their
mixed
ass.
with a
We're
solution
discussing
in a
alternative
sort of enema
methods of-
situation.
Snorting equal, snorting sweet and low.
Who is on the
It's,
phone, man?
I think it's the Hausier
hold on.
Institute.
Who is that?
Hold on now. Oh, he's taking it rectally.
Anus.
Oh, right now he's taking it rectally, the equal. Who is this?
Oh my god.
Who?
Hold on now. Hold on.
Oh, hold on, man.
That's
Keep
tense.
talking, man.
It tends to produce some rather strange symptoms.
Can you guys hear this guy on this?
Hold on.
You're on the... Okay, keep talking, man. I think you're on the air right now. I have you held up to the microphone. We're talking about alternative highs here on Three Geniuses. This is a very interactive show. We can actually, our viewers call in on our cell phone. If you're a long-time viewer, watch long enough, you study the show, you can actually get our cell phone number by studying every... Oh, the cell phone number? Can we give it out?
No, don't give out my.
Oh, you gotta watch the show.
All right.
Give me this.
Come on, hang it up.
Okay, hold
doing
on.
a show.
We're in the middle of a show, man.
This is not fun. Why
Hello?
not?
What happened? You took some equal up your rectum. Is that correct?
Yes.
What
I guess I have to hang up.
At first, I felt an intense burning in my ass region.
goes-
And then it
Oh,
sort
really?
of
Where?
traveled up the base of my spine until it reached my brain. at
How
which
much a
point
month?
I blacked out for a moment.
Oh, really?
Come on,
wow.
Nick. We're
Did
on
you
a
see it?
show. It's a real.
We're on TV, man. What the
Oh,
in a
okay.
movie
Well,
theater? but-
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
It's annoying to listen to
Okay,
in real
bye.
life.
All right. So now
I'd like to ask you a question, Eel.
Yeah.
As a member of the Islamic faith,
Oh.
Can you suggest any Ramadan kosher highs for our viewers?
Actually, a lot of times for Ramadan, I go out with a few guys, and of course we don't drink.
How do you get high?
Actually, we enjoy a few sadistic pleasures. I mean, not to, generalize. I'm sure this isn't commonplace among Muslims of mine. But a lot of times we like to hang non-Muslims by their scrotum. And
Let me ask
it's
you
just
this.
a real high.
This is boring.
It's a real. What?
You get high off sadism, man? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's one of the greatest highs of all time, dude. If you haven't experienced it, I'm sorry.
As an alternative high, we'll have to accept that. We can't advocate its practice at home.
No,
However,
of course not. And
the flip side.
By no
of that
means do I
technique-
mean this as a generalization.
The flip side of that technique, I always carry with me
This is a
to stave
masochism.
off boredom.
Right.
One of these. It's a common
Oh, yeah.
house pin, otherwise
Oh.
known as a clothespin.
Oh yeah. I'm familiar.
And what you can do is clip it onto a sensitive part of the body,
Right.
like the head of the penis.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
and then
I'm getting pretty high right now, man.
it will result in an
Shit.
instant erection, but as long as you leave it on,
Right.
you've got a constant source of adrenaline,
Oh yeah.
as well as natural endogenous opiates
Oh, of course.
to keep you.
Would you
feeling-
recommend this during a job interview or a situation
Well,
where
you don't have to clip it to the outside of
right?
your pants.
Of
You
course
can-
not. Yes.
How about like
It can be worn underneath the
As some
clothing.
women insert Benoit balls and use those for daily stimulation, and no one knows.
Right.
The same can be done with the clothespin, and it's a lot cheaper.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. As a narcologist, we keep talking about alternative ways of getting high, and I do use sleep deprivation and other techniques, sensory deprivation.
I
as well.
personally prefer the rubber band, like multiple
The rubber
wrapped
band
around
technique,
the
yes.
scrotum.
But don't you always have to get higher and higher? I mean, isn't high a relative term? And how can you just continually get higher and higher? I mean, is there a limit to how high one can get?
Well, you develop
Or
a
do you not
threshold.
have to be? Yeah, or do you not have
base-
to be higher and higher?
The Buddhists call it a
Baseline.
state of nirvana, where you get so high you can never again come down.
But even then, I mean, won't they eventually adjust to that state of highness?
Gene, have you tried death?
Death is the ultimate high, man.
I mean,
Perhaps.
if you haven't tried it,
You want me to try?
it's not much that gets near
Try it. You should try it on it right now. Just go into a state of.
How would that alter the history of Three Geniuses
We have
if
to
I
advocate
died?
death as an
Well, it would be a
irreversible
virtual
form of
death. You'd
high.
have to come back.
all right.
We
don't try it.
We don't
at
want
all.
any sort of misconceptions.
It's a little
It
dangerous.
is irreversible, but it is intensely pleasurable as well.
Right.
The autoerotic asphyxiation, which is the erotic from the audio, which comes from the Latin to listen.
Car stereo.
To your
I've also
to listen to your car
engaged
stereo.
in,
and
trepanation.
while you're
I'm familiar with
masturbating.
that.
I'm highly familiar with trepanation.
It's hard to see now, but I've actually drilled a hole in my head to. Can you see that there?
Yes,
You
I
could
can.
stick a straw
Yes.
in it. Actually, you could actually maybe snort my
Hey,
brain.
You could suck his brain out through a straw. I've done it.
I'd want to powder that.
That was
first.
that was the frontal lobe.
Oh my god.
That's the sound of a brain being sucked into someone's nostril.
Oh man. Well, anyway, man.
Another technique.
Oh man.
As responsible podcasters, we can't advocate this technique, but a quick way to an instant high is murder as well. Now, obviously, that involves a degree of responsibility for your actions, which most people should be unwilling to take.
The drive-by is really overrated. The
It
drive-by
is.
is completely overrated.
Well, it's the coward's way out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Strangulation.
you get
Yes.
hard for a few.
Getting your
minutes.
hands around the
It's
neck
not-
and squeezing.
You don't have to go all the way for
No.
beginners. Here, I'll demonstrate. Come here a minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want you to tell me how you're feeling right now.
He cannot tell.
I feel great. Oh, dude. You guys, no.
That was.
That's pathetic.
Again, this is highly suspect behavior and also the concept of self-castration, cutting off of the the member, cutting off of the genital. Well, it's a high, but you can only do it once unless you reattach somehow surgically. And then what I've done is I've created a...
You never get the same high twice, though, do you?
No.
With self-castration.
Self-castration the first time is,
Charlie
as with
Bobbitt
many
wants
drugs,
to go
the
back
best.
to Lorena Bobbitt.
Exactly. He wanted to go back to Lorena just to get high.
He wants to get that high again, man.
He doesn't. I know, man.
Well, he tried castrating himself and it didn't work out quite as well. So he had to resort to the using the secondary persona, in his case, the wife, the spousal figure. And this is fine, but
It's much like suicide
yes.
by cop.
Suicide by cop.
But that brings us to castration by cop,
Yes.
which very few people can actually pull off. But a few people have actually gone out there, waved a gun around on the highway, and actually convinced the cops to castrate him as a form of self-defense in their self-defense.
Well, he was actually wielding the gun with his penis at the time, which is why it was shot off. Is that not correct?
I think something like that. I don't know. I read it in the paper. I can't remember all the details. But yeah, something like that.
Well, when he pulled the trigger, there was actually a reaction where the trigger, sort of triggered reactions.
Just to bring things down again to the level of the common viewer, I think this esoteric is beyond the reach of most people's means. So I'd like to recommend something for businessmen and other professionals out there who obviously can't resort to these techniques in a public setting.
All right.
If instead of having your morning coffee as you're having whatever your business meeting, dictating to your secretary, I recommend a scalding hot cup of water, drank all in one gulp, which will instantly burn the lining of the esophagus all the way down to the stomach.
Oh, yes.
And produce a painful sensation resulting in these same endogenous opiates to be slow released over the next 3 hours period of time.
You know what I like to do, which is
And no one
almost
knows.
the
They
flip
think
side.
it's just coffee.
Right.
It's the flip side of that technique is I like to take some nice cold ice water and shoot it right into my, what's this vein called? Jugular vein.
Right, you're blowfishing.
And you can feel the cold water go through all your veins, man. It's like the ultimate high, man. It's like, I mean, it beats probably almost any, even
It's,
sleep
they call it ice blowfishing.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Ice
well,
blowfish.
you puff up like a pufferfish or a blowfish. Because that's to get your veins popping out.
Not
and
to
then
go
you
back to the cop thing, but
inject the ice.
adultery by cop is pretty cool.
Adultery by cop?
Well, when I was married, I had a cop come over and fuck my wife, and I got pretty off.
Yeah.
What? I mean, it's a really either high. You really do get high. What people don't realize is some of the most painful parts of life
Yeah.
are some of
Yet another example of a
You
minor
don't-
technique with which you can drastically alter your consciousness.
Oh, I know, man. I mean, even color.
right
it's all
now,
perspective.
this man is seeing pink.
Yeah, it's all perspective. It's all.
You could, hang out in a room just by painting your house a different color. You could actually change your mental state.
Now, we don't want to give people the false impression that they require any props whatsoever. Sometimes a mental technique is all you need. For instance,
Not many people are familiar with synesthesia, where
synesthesia can be
Yeah.
self-induced, can't it?
yes, it can.
For instance, this ordinary bulb of garlic here. I can take a nice long whiff of that, and instead of thinking garlic, I can think anus, and see that before me. And instantly, I've transformed an ordinary clove of garlic into a piece of human anatomy.
Now, let me
That's
ask you this.
fascinating.
As a historian of Three Geniuses,
I think this
Did
show
you-
transcends
but
all.
the last show, did you notice that one of our
Oh, shit.
guests has a common theme in a lot of his,
Well, I was observing that the anatomical area was continuous, but
oh, okay.
I'd have to say this show is probably
This is the pinnacle.
the pinnacle. It's just the apex.
Are you getting high right now? That's what I want to get at.
It's the zenith. the
Out
zenith,
there in TV land,
The acme.
let us know if you are actually getting high right now, alternatively.
Are your pupils as dilated as this?
Please let us know, because we have no other way of knowing.
if you're
unless you let us know.
experiencing wake deprivation, I would go with it.
Sleep deprivation or wake
A
deprivation.
lot of people
right?
use this show to help their wake deprivation.
Yeah, this show it's a great aid to.
I find
Well, I predict there's going to be quite a few accidents at home
Booze
as a result of this
deprivation.
show, which is why I'd like to bring up again the fact that you should start with simple mental techniques. An example in point. Many women talk about how size really does matter in a penis.
Oh.
Now I'd like to introduce the alternative concept of volume. Why does it have to be size? Is it because people are mathematically illiterate?
What about
they can't
mass?
calculate the volumetric dimensions of a penis?
True.
And if they can't, why don't they use a graduated cylinder? Insert their erect penis into the cylinder, see how much water is displaced, and immediately have a figure for volume.
All you gotta do is take pi
calipers
r
or something.
squared times the length of the penis to get, to achieve
Do you
volume.
think
We cannot
evolution?
assume an educational level of our audience.
Although it's not exactly a
true.
Perfect
Although we don't
cylinder,
wish
but that
you
is
to.
a good.
Well, it does have a
estimation.
conical tip,
Condescend.
depending on the degree of circumcision.
Yeah. Now, what is a mathematical formula for formulating a cone?
Right, the volume.
You could look that
of
up,
the
but at home, we don't have time for that right now. But just take the cone, add it to the cylinder, and you got yourself a pretty good estimate of
You may need to
volume.
integrate it using calculus.
Well, you
though.
multiply the
Again,
length
this is a pretty highbrow
times
conversation.
pi.
R squared for the cone.
right,
The
for
conal
the
part,
cone.
but the front part is actually. Well, that's the
Oh,
cone.
it's a cone.
Yeah.
So we're talking
That's
cylinder.
why I
and
recommend
cone.
doing empirically with the water displacement technique.
Yeah, water displacement's the best one.
Yeah, water displacement.
Or if
But,
you don't
all
have
All of
water,
these-
you
all
can
of
use
these things,
a
the
hot,
point is,
scalding
all
hot
of these things you
coffee.
can do at home.
Please, do not feel limited to using
The thing
water.
is that
You can use your own blood if you wish, or the menstrual blood of an elephant.
Or HCl, hydrochloric acid.
Yes, maturic acid even.
everything
believe
seems
it's
to be
not
getting
mature.
smaller these days. I mean, like the
Balearic
computers,
acid.
the phones, everything's getting teeny.
The amount of drugs people do.
I think the volume is becoming
The acid people are
obsolete.
ingesting.
I mean, the volume.
people are doing 1 or 2 tabs of acid these days, where previously they were doing 7, 8, and 10.
How do
Right,
you-
Why is
12
that?
hits of sunshine.
People
orange
talk about the
sunshine.
expansion of the mind
Let
in
me
the
ask
new
you,
age.
how
I
do
think
you
it's
measure the
closing in
volume
on
of the
itself.
vagina? The orifice itself.
Well, it's the same technique, but instead of water displacement, it's water injection.
Water
Is that an
injection.
accurate reading? The water injection?
Is that volume?
It
or is
depends
that
how
lack
hard
of
you push
volume?
on the bulb
Because that
as
doesn't.
you're inserting.
Right. It doesn't compensate for
Expansion
the
factors.
expansion factor.
Let's
Well,
get back
that's
to the
up to you.
subject.
Yeah, that sounds like last.
You know,
What?
we've got to get back to the subject
is
of the
related,
highs.
damn
The
it.
highs,
This
the
is
highs.
an expected side effect from
Mr.
these
Handstem.
alternative highs. You drift in conversation. You become very tangential and fractured in consciousness, and we find that.
I know, but how do you explain your name of
The name-
blowing a rock
No.
through a handstand?
All right, my name Handstem was
familiar
given
with
to me
that.
at birth by my great-grandfather, who used to employ the handstand method. Now, he was a poor migrant farm worker,
Yes.
and he could never afford his own crack pipe.
Right.
So what he did is he'd load the rock right into his hand, in the little hollow of his hand here, and he would breathe on this part and light the rock. The crack,
Intelligent
that is,
man,
crack cocaine,
intelligent.
for those of you who don't know the street
And didn't he burn
terminology.
his
This was back
He did
in
not
the.
burn his hand because
This was back in the
each
1980s,
puff-
I believe.
Each puff he took,
Yes, a few centuries ago,
a few decades at
a
least.
few decades.
And he'd take
I'm losing
quick
track
puffs.
of time.
Without burning his hand, he could get some very good hits.
Yeah.
And I knew a man who engaged in the hand stem technique, but he actually used a high-powered
Sperm rocks.
hair dryer to heat the rock.
That's called volatilization.
Volatilization.
I'm talking about burning rock in the hand stem, which is an entirely different technique.
Well, it's
involving a
still
lot
using
more
the
heat.
hand as a stem.
Well, there's an added element of danger.
Now, is
You're
that-
using
is-
a live flame?
Is that the?
I knew a guy who used his hand over a flame and tried to heat up some water like that.
Oh, that for freebasing.
That freebasing.
Yeah.
Is that the
didn't
origin
really
of the
work.
song? Blowing a rock through a hand stem?
That's where the
The
song
Rod
came from.
Stewart. Rod Stewart. When he had a brief foray into hip hop, and he
My
did
great
blowing a rock
grandfather
through
is
a
still
hand stem.
involved in copyright battles over the title of that song.
No, that's a nickname. Okay. Now,
Please, thank you.
now, what is so great about?
Hold on. Let's get on, because we're talking about illegal highs.
I'm talking
here.
about- yeah,
Let's
that's
stop crack. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
And what an
This is it.
alternative? We're trying to get.
Have you ever
alternative-
smoked pubic hair?
I don't smoke it directly out of a pipe, but I burn it on a charcoal disc like incense, and achieve an atmospheric high that way.
Yeah, it's a really nice
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
aroma
right.
and
Now, what about
natural
Now
high.
it brings
We're
us
just
to
talking about natural.
cannibalism.
The ultimate high, of
Now-
course.
Some say we're living in a cannibal city.
Yes.
Is that true?
Cannibalization. Well, I'm the chief executive of Cannibal City. That's my secret private organization. Taken over from L. Ron Hubbard in the 60s. L. Ron Hubble telescopes were developed to actually plot the diameter of orangutans.
Aren't we living in a
Penis.
society where
What was that?
species is always eating species?
Right, and cannibal girls will eat their feces.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that?
It's never been proven wrong.
Or
if any viewer can
is that
prove
waste not want, or is it?
Right. Well, it is. It's waste not want more.
Exactly.
Or waste more,
That
want
brings us to
more,
the point about the high.
actually.
Like you must always get higher and higher, man.
Well, this is the problem
You'll
with
never
modernity,
get high
isn't it?
enough, man. Even with these alternative highs. I mean, you can try different ones: sleep deprivation, wake deprivation, pain.
Well, there's a difference between getting high and getting
Sadism.
wasted. I mean, getting wasted is a totally different thing.
Well, getting wasted is passé at this point.
Right.
Isn't it?
It's been done. It's been done by me and others before me, and
Rod
I
Stewart?
see no reason. Right. I see no reason to continue. I mean, I'm
I don't know if anyone's
not
ever
opposed to doing it.
brought their own intestines out.
Now, Eel,
That's quite-
as a member of an ethnic religious sect,
Yes.
not to classify Islam in one way or the
Yeah,
other.
I'd say we're a third of the world's
this-
population. Thank
this,
you.
this ethnic statue right here. This woman is engaged in an act of getting high. Can you
A
explain
heathen
that to us?
idol.
Isn't childbirth the biggest high there is for both the mother and the child?
Of
Well,
course.
it's the biggest orgasm, but whether or not that's the biggest high.
The,
No, isn't
mean,
it? I mean,
Have you done a shot of pure?
placenta.
Well, yes.
the hormones
once
involved
you do
in
the
this ritual.
inject the afterbirth straight into the jugular.
I have snorted placental flakes, and let me tell you, it's almost like being born again.
Were those organic or complex with silica?
They were genetically cloned, actually.
And did you inject it rectally or non-orally?
I believe that the rectal snuff technique has never before been seen.
Right. This was a first
Until I
on
performed
this
it today.
show. This was a
Acoustically,
first,
I
yeah.
actually took it.
Because very few humanoids, and I do mean humanoids, but are able to, introvert the sort of tension of the bowels to produce a negative atmosphere, suction
I brought
within
that up
the.
either.
You brought that up.
The methane. Getting off on holding methane.
No, but I'm
The
talking
show's
about
almost over.
introverting.
We gotta
the
wrap
methane.
this up. No.
Introverting the methane.
I see you had a cell phone. Do you get high off the radiation?
Like this woman,
emitted
many
from cell
people
phones?
think she's
Not
pregnant.
addicted to
She's
my
actually
cell
just
phone.
holding methane in her bowel, expanding the bowel extraordinarily. And it's an incredible high because
We're gonna have to wrap this up.
On that
right
note, I mean, we should end on a better note than that, but time permits. or
it's already
doesn't.
over.
It's almost over. I mean, time flies when
now. Time
you get
waits
high
for no one.
on alternative methods. And hope out there, if you have any questions concerning specific techniques that we have engaged in or anything
We didn't
else.
even get to
You'll
the
keep
end
them
of
to
like
yourself.
falling out of
Or
my
at the end
knees
of the
or
screen.
bitten by rattlesnakes and things like that, which is pretty cool.
Or brain tumors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and could you keep
Source
the
of
audio
continuous
keep
sound.
going even while the show's ending so we could hear the final few thoughts of our genius, even the last second that could
The
possibly
rattlesnake
happen.
tumor.
All right. And,
Often just radical.
We've got to remind our audience to never blow your nose if you have a stuffed up sinus. That pressure itself can result in an excellent high.
Radical freon.
Just act like your dentist is a porno cinematographer.
call that number on your screen right there. And if you feel like it.
Or you can do a numerological reading of that number.
Yeah,
and
if you add
find-
those numbers together, you might get the cell phone.